Let's continue. Here, and keep on top. Minimize back to where I was. Always talking to myself. I was standing in the store one time in the States, not here. And I was standing in front of a shelf, what it was. And in a voice this loud, I said, whoa, that's expensive. Why am I wasting my time buying it here? I'm going to go to whatever. And I'm looking at it like, okay, they're going to cart me away. Okay, anyways. Now, so having said all this, it kind of makes us feel a little uncomfortable. Many of us believe that over these years, we have been keeping the mitzvah we have to a certain degree, of achnasat orchim. And at the same time, I'm telling you that maybe it's not really completely achnasat orchim. So I'm going to read something to you here. Now, he's not happy. He's not happy that I'm saying it's not necessarily achnasat orchim. Right, buddy? It's okay. Chill. Listen, I'm gonna make your life easier now. Okay? So hang in there. Further from Pnini Halacha. It's true that nowadays, in most of our communities, you definitely have people who have nothing, unfortunately. But most people in the communities they live in don't have abject poverty. And in most places, you don't have someone who's living on the street in our areas, in our neighborhoods. Yet there's still plenty of people who need encouragement in life. They need a good meal. There's still the mitzvah. He's going to explain this. Yet, whereas we don't have the poor people always coming to the city, or people who, they come to town, they absolutely know where to stay, but there's still a mitzvah, but the face of the mitzvah has changed somewhat. It's a fact that nowadays there's no lack of people who are depressed or sad, down on their luck. Even though we may live nowadays in a higher standard of living than did 100 years ago even, there's many problems still that we have nowadays of people who have, whether it's psychological issues, emotional issues, spiritual issues, that hasn't necessarily gone up on the same level as our gashmi, our physical lives. In some cases, the increased physical wealth has caused more psychological damage. They're like, oh, he has this and I don't have this, or we need to have a bigger wedding or a bigger bar mitzvah or whatever it is. And nowadays you find a lot of people that may be part of a community that still feel completely alone. There's nothing better than the mitzvah achnasat orchim to make them feel better, to help them grow. It's my words. What does that mean? You're not bringing someone to your house because they don't have a place to sleep. You're not bringing someone to their house because they don't have food to eat. You're not bringing someone to the house because they're poor, but they are poor in a different type of way. Whether it could be self-esteem. Just, by the way, it doesn't mean if you see me invite someone to my house, it means, oh, the guy must really have problems. It doesn't mean that. Well, let's go to the booklet of the spend and say, oh man, we really shouldn't like that. No, it doesn't mean that. But it means that when you do have someone at your table that has issues in life, and the person never gets invited anywhere, whatever it might be, it's absolutely the CC, the basic. It's absolutely achnasat orchim in all the different meanings. Klalo shel davar, the general rule is, bizmanenu ha'oni hakashe biyoter hu ha'oni hanafshi. Nowadays, poverty today is spiritual poverty, ruchani. Umitzvat achnasat orchim olechet uloveshet panim yoter ruchaniyut. And nowadays, the face of this mitzvah takes on more of a spiritual aspect, more so than in the past, of tmicha ruchani, or spiritually helping someone, giving them support. Some people just lost their way in life. They've lost hope themselves, their future. They're good people. They may have plenty of money, They may be okay, but just they're floating, they're plodding through life and with no direction. Iruach tov, ohad cham, a person who you host someone, nice warm place, you become their fan, so to speak, and help them out. It can give into them, to that person, it could give them a sense of hope and faith. That there is value to their lives. The people value them. There are people who actually would like to be around them. It gives them a sense of hope and it builds them up. And from that one meal, they could, in fact, maybe draw strength for the rest of their lives. You never know. Let me tell you a true story. Just heard this the other day, and I will say it. That it isn't about Achnasat Orchim, but it's the same idea of what we just said. Absolutely beautiful story. Happened, I'm going to say about 10 years ago, but I'm not sure exactly how many years. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I changed my glasses now, so I can see y'all. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Many of you know the Twersky family, tremendously well-known Hasidic family, very much into helping people in whatever community they are in, whether Chicago, Boston, Baltimore, Chicago, United States, anywhere, Israel, all over the place. Rabbi Michael Twersky Shlita, rabbi in Milwaukee. Some of you may know him. There was a gynecologist who, I don't know how old he was, but he wasn't that old, whose wife passed away. And he decided he was not religious. He decided he wanted to say Kaddish. At least he'll say Kaddish for the year, not just for 30 days, but he wanted to say for a year. And he found himself every day finding a minyan somewhere here and there for a minyan. And the weather report one day in the winter was that it was going to be a horrifically bad storm. And before he started to plot out to go to find to a minyan, he figures he'll call around to find out if there's going to be a shul open anywhere. And everywhere he called, they said, we're not taking any chances, just daven at home. He felt really bad. He hadn't missed a single Kaddish. This is the middle of this year of Kaddish. It's a true story. We called Rabbi Twersky. Rabbi Twersky says, look, we are going to open. We're going to be here at 9 o'clock for Marav. Try and make it if you can. It's 9 o'clock. It's 9:30. It's 10. The guy finally gets to the front door of the shul, 10:30 at night. And he says, okay, look, I know there won't be a minyan. I've lost the chance. But at least I'll go and I'll say something. Walks in. They're still waiting for him. All the people waited for him. Rabbi Twersky said, we're not going anywhere because there's a Jew who needs a minyan for Kaddish. That next day, he decided to become religious. He stayed religious. He got remarried not that long ago, I was told, and carries on with religious life. Why am I mentioning this story? Besides the fact it's a beautiful story. You don't ever know what act of kindness, whether it's achnasat orchim, bikur cholim, picking up the phone, smiling, you never know. And that's why when you mentioned that his mitzvah that he really connected was achnasat orchim, you don't ever know the impact that was made and will still be made for any one of us when you help somebody out, when you do something nice for somebody. That's also what this chapter is about in Chassidut. It's about going the extra mile, doing the best you can. Sure, you can just, bring someone, a manachama, like one of those pour the instant soup things and bring that to them and they'll have something. Or you have them over, you make a homemade soup. What do you know what I'm saying? I'm just exaggerating a little bit. And that's the whole point here too. And we hope that Neshama from should have an aliyah, the Yartzeit on Shabbat, a little bit of extra learning, Leilu Yishmato then as well. And thank you for the kibbutz kal you brought for everyone. Please, I on behalf of Hanan family, invite you to stay and have something. For those of you on Zoom, get over here. All right. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And the brachot should be made, the names on the table. Brachot should be made, Leilu Yishmat Michael ben Avraham. Have a good day.